Hey guys, it's the week before Memorial Day weekend, so it's late May, and getting ready to do a flea market find series, and also this is going to include the meager pickings I got at the Quinnebog Valley Engineer Association tractor show and flea. That was what was that, about 3 weeks ago, and I was kind of disappointed with what I ended up getting there. It rained. A lot of dealers didn't bring their merchandise out. But one of the things I did pick right when I got there was I spotted this sandblaster unit. And I remember, I think last year I was there and I saw one, and the guy ended up having like 40 bucks on it. And the thing looked brand new. It was a Harbor Freight model. And unfortunately it had already been sold. It was still sitting there, but guy said, yeah, somebody already bought it. They're coming to pick it up. So I always thought, if I saw another one of these and the price was right, I'd try and snag it. So lo and behold, I found this one right at the beginning of the show, and the rain was, keeping people away, so people were looking to deal. So I picked this one up, which is sun faded. Looks like it's, been out in the sun quite a bit. This hose is cracked up, pretty cracked and everything. But I got this for 20 bucks, so I'm pretty happy. It's got a couple of stickers on it from where it was bought. Some place called Wild Bill's. I've never heard of that place. So I don't know if that's a chain or if that's just a hardware store or what. Wild Bill's, $99.99. There's the sticker on the hose there too, the same thing. So somebody bought this at Wild Bill's for $100, or maybe they got it on sale. I don't know. But I haven't tried it out or anything yet. So included with this was what looks to be a brand new nozzle. So it has this nozzle on it right here. It appears to be maybe ceramic, and with this valve. Okay, and there's also an air hose. I've never owned one of these, so I don't know yet how to hook it all up, but I'm sure I can figure it out. But then, sitting right there on the ground next to it was this gun, and packaging was already, it was, like I said, it was raining. Looked like it had already been rained on more than once. It's falling apart, but what's inside here, by the looks of it, is a brand new unused gun. So it's 3 nozzles, placement nozzles, and there's one in there, and then a hose. And so this says air sandblaster, heavy duty, complete with 10-foot hose pickup tool and extra parts, designed for fast, efficient sandblasting, liquid or air cleaning of parts and surfaces. 3 extra nozzles, air jet, and key wrench. Now the key wrench, I think I actually did have the key wrench. It's just a Allen wrench. So, anyways. So, the sandblaster and this for 20 bucks, that was a good deal. That was worth the $5 price of admission. So I only spent a grand total of $55, plus $5 to get in, so $60 total at this spring show. I had been looking forward to this spring show for months in advance, and circled that date on the calendar, and was really hoping I would find some really good machinist tools, and unfortunately that didn't pan out. But not to say I didn't get some deals. So I ended up seeing a dealer there who I've bought from in the past, and he's always had different things, and he's always very reasonably priced. He's one of those dealers that tends to price things based more on what he paid for them, and a lot of what he paid for something is tied up with a whole stuff. I think he just does clean outs and probably says, I'll take all this junk out of here and get rid of the bad stuff. And he probably gets a lot of stuff for nothing. That's the only way I can figure, and luckily for me, because it makes his prices very reasonable. So I came across this little red box right here with the drawers. And this was loaded with just junk screws and hardware and stuff like they typically would be found in somebody's garage. And those of you who regularly follow my flea market find segments know that I scored a nice one of these, I think last summer, at a at an estate sale that's clean as a whistle for like 20 bucks. All right, so I don't have the lights on over here, but there's my $20 one. And as you can see, I didn't even figure out where I'm gonna put that one yet. But lo and behold, this one came along. I saw it there, and I was like, boy, you know, I wouldn't mind having another one of these. And this one kind of looked kind of rough and everything at first, but then I thought about it, and I said, geez, you know, I'd be interested in it, but you know, I didn't care about the hardware. And he said, well, he could get some money for the hardware, so he was nice enough to just let me dump all the contents out into a 5-gallon pail and sell me this thing for 10 bucks. And I'll tell you, it's ugly. Somebody put a Snap-on racing team sticker on the top here. You know, it's really ugly. Paint's missing and everything. But what I noticed was all the drawers still are smooth as glass. They work really nicely. So these are nice because the way they work is, you know, you got this, you got the ability to take these drawers out, I think. Remember, yeah, these come out. So you can take this out and carry it with you if you want. Got a handle, okay. Got a little place for placards on this one, so you can mark them. And then they sit here like this, slide in and out. And they have inserts in them, so you can. This one still has a label on it. These originally were in a hardware store and auto parts store. So this is all various. Oh, this is why this was a lot of this was in here. These drill driver bits and stuff like that. And he knew he could sell those to people, so that was the main reason he wanted the contents out of this thing. There was all other, you know, this is probably out of a hardware store or something like that, like I said. But anyways, 10 bucks is a really good score on that. So I didn't want to walk all over the place with this thing, so I left it there and I said, can I come back for it? I paid for it. And I said, can I come back and get it after the, you know, after I'm done shopping? I'll drive down here with my truck, because they let you come in with your vehicle if you've got something larger to pick up, and I was already coming in to pick up the sandblasters. So he said, yeah, sure. So he set it aside for me, and then he was still pulling stuff out of the trailer when I got there, and you know, hoping the rain was going to stop. And he pulled this out, and I took a look at this, and we went back and forth on this on price. And what ended up happening was when I came back to pick up this was still sitting there. And so I hit him again with my last offer on it, and since it was still sitting there, even though it had only been about an hour later, he said, yeah, sure, why not? So I think I gotta think about my pricing here, because I know what I spent on that sandblaster was 20. All right, so I know I spent 45 between the sandblaster and these three items. Sandblaster I know was 20. So I know I spent 25 bucks on these three items. This showed up when I came back to pick up this. And this is just a metal box I got for 5 bucks because it's loaded with crimp connectors. So even though the box is kind of, you know, not that great, I figured for the connectors in it, it was worth the 5 bucks. So I grabbed that for 5. And I've done that more than once now, so I've got quite a few of these connectors. But if you go to buy these in the auto parts store, you see how much it is for a little package of one of them. Then you can appreciate why you dump 5 bucks on something like that. So that was 5. I mean, that leaves 20 bucks for this and this. So this might have been, this was either 10 bucks and this was 10, or this was 5 bucks and this was 15. I think I might have given 15 for this. So this is a, it says right on top here, it says CKJ, I think, round die screw plate, okay? But in the middle there is the classic logo with the G and the D. This is a Greenfield tap and die set. So this says CK405 over here. So what this is an old tap and die. So it's a number 405, oh I'm sorry, OK Junior round die screw plate. Round die screw plate set. So I hadn't seen one like this before, and I have seen some of these old tap and die sets bring pretty decent money on eBay. So what immediately struck me about this set was that even though the outside of the box is filthy and, you know, faded and got a split there or whatever, that the condition of the set inside was really good, and the condition of the label, that original label being there really helps the value too. So I already did check on these. I forgot what they tend to bring on eBay. I don't know what I'm going to do with this set, quite frankly. But it's got a small die wrench, a larger die wrench, a big tap handle, and then looks like maybe might be missing a small die here. Not sure what went here. Not too worried about it. And then I thought this was kind of cool. I bet you this goes missing a lot. Look at this little screwdriver. I think that's original to that set because it's got that red color on it. And it fits right in that compartment right there. And that's going to be for these little set screws on the side here that hold the dies in these die handles. So that was a great deal. So I enjoyed getting deals on those items there at the show, but I'd say the only disappointment of the day was didn't really come away with anything from machinist tools. And I did stop at one guy. He just had some micrometers and stuff. Nothing. Didn't see too many remarkable things there, and he just had some boxes with miscellaneous in them and old toolbox and that. And what I ended up getting from him were the only really machinist tools that I ended up buying that day. And what I found these three items right here. I had no interest in the regular micrometers because, I didn't need those, and he wasn't going to be selling them for the kind of price that I could resell. I spotted these three items, and I was kind of figuring I was going to make a offer one price for the three pieces. But the funny thing was, when I asked him what he wanted for that right there, he says you can have that. So he actually gave me that, which is pretty nice. So this is an accessory piece for a bevel protractor. So somebody's got a kit that's missing one of these. I just took it because I thought, well, maybe one of the bevel protractors that I have might not have a blade, and maybe that this would fit one of the ones I have. I don't know if this is marked or not. So I could find no markings whatsoever on this piece. But this is a 29-degree screw thread tool gauge by Brown & Sharp. So that caught my eye. On the back here, it's got a number, 716, and the Brown & Sharp logo. So I was pretty sure I didn't have one of these already. So I figured, what's the harm in that? And then it's micrometer here. So I wanted to give $10 for this stuff, but he insisted on 15. But then I took into account that he already gave me this for free, and I said, yeah, okay, I'll do that. So the reason why I grabbed this micrometer was because it's got these 2 points on it, and it caught my eye. Now, unfortunately, somebody has drilled a hole right here through it. I'm not sure why they would do that. I don't know whether or not this would have been left on a chain or something, or hung on a nail somewhere to keep it handy. So initially, and I'm still quite not sure on this. Initially, after I got it, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Initially, I thought that's how this is supposed to be, and then after I looked at it under close inspection, I began to wonder whether or not somebody had actually ground these points on there for some special purpose. But then I checked online the Starrett catalog, and it turns out that Starrett did make micrometers of this style with points on them like that. I forgot what they call them, that style. If I remember it, I'll put it up on the screen. But I can't find any Starrett micrometers of that type with ground points like this that are this like satin finish, So all the ones in the catalog were the old, the ones with the black frame, and so I don't know. I still don't know about this one. So the other thing that bothers me about this micrometer is that I can't find any number on it anywhere. So I can't you know, there's no model number on this micrometer anywhere. I even backed the barrel off far enough so I could look at it, and there's nothing. It's clearly marked, you know, it's clearly marked here, stare it, okay, and clearly marked here, stare it, and that's it. And then of course there's well, not of course, but this micrometer, like many of this style, has the little conversion chart there for 1/16ths and 30/2 of an inch to decimal. So, but let me zoom in on that point. Just don't know whether or not this was a regular old stare-at micrometer that somebody modified, or whether or not it actually was born this way. So on my way home from the QVEA flea market tractor show, I stopped at my local flea market. Just made a quick stop there, and I spotted in a box of junk tools, I spotted these hammers. This is a homemade lead hammer. It's just a steel bar or galvanized bar, I guess, but this is all lead. Okay, so not sure what's holding that in there actually. Oh, believe it or not, it looks like there might be some kind of threads on there. I don't know. But yeah, it screws in. But I think I only paid $1 for that. So I figured if I ever get myself one of those molds for casting my own lead hammer heads, then it'd be nice to have the lead to do that. In the meantime, it's just another lead hammer. And I got this one for $1 or $2, and obviously it's missing something that goes in here, and what is in this end actually looks like a piece of wood maybe, and I don't think that's original to this. Maybe somebody stuck that in there, but I had never seen a hammer like this, so I thought it was pretty cool. I'll get a close-up of that in a minute. And then one of the vendors I go to regularly, he had a couple of cans of this gum out air intake and throttle body cleaner, and it had occurred to me that I had been wanting to get some carb cleaner in the can with a little straw like that to clean that motorcycle carburetor. And well, lo and behold, saw this stuff, and I was like, boy, I bet you chemically that's probably almost the same stuff. Basically they do the same job, which is remove varnish and deposits in the fuel system. So I figured, well, if you take $1 for the can, which you did, I just use this stuff. And then that following Wednesday, I went to the tool store, the used tool store that I frequent, and unfortunately, I didn't find anything to get excited about. And I spotted this drawer unit, and you can see it's missing a drawer, which hurts it. The insides of the drawers are rusty. But it was only $3, so I decided what the heck, you know, throw some junkier hardware in there, stuff I don't really care that much about, but still want to not throw away. So here's that cool old hammer. The head is cast, and it says Garland of Saco, Maine. ME is from Maine. It's got these sockets. Like I said, this socket's got something stuffed in it that, I don't know, looks like a piece of wood wrapped with something to make it big enough to stay in there. And then there's a patent date on it. There's number 10, and there's a patent, a patent number, not a date. And it looks like the patent is 1,374,999, I think. So I believe I can actually look that up and get the skinny on when this patent was applied for on this hammer. So if anybody knows anything else about this hammer and they want to chime in, feel free. But if you like unusual old tools, then you probably understand why I bought this hammer, even though I probably won't ever use it. Yeah, so nothing. I guess nothing in this video to get overly excited about. Just a few items that were good deals, and I'll put to good use eventually. So that's going to wrap up this video. I promise in the next, I don't know, probably within the next few weeks, I'm going to have another series that's going to have some goodies. Because I just, last week, I purchased some items off of a semi-retired machinist who had listed on Craigslist, and basically he had just said he had machinist tools for sale and didn't say anything else, no photograph. I ended up going out and meeting him, and he started pulling out all of this stuff, and I ended up buying quite a few items, and I got some really good deals, and you guys who like the machinist tools are going to really love to see this stuff. All right, so that's it for today.